that have been interrupted because they decided to do some shit? Yeah, I got.
Sorry.
No, fucking sorry. It's my podcast. Drop it down next time.
Yeah, not bad.
My engineer, my Cub, my Wally, pretty much the guy who runs the show, is here with me. My name is Mark Bueno, and your name?
My name is Cub Scout or Cub Reporter / Wally because of an incident.
Stop being lazy, man. Like seriously,
Okay.
he's like yawning as we're doing this. So what are we doing today, my Cub reporter?
Today, basically, me and the owner right here, we are both basically getting our own part. I am getting Star Wars and he's getting the Aviator.
Okay, so I think we should start with the Cub.
Oh, may I also suggest? I am sorry, we were trying out a new microphone for the first video. We didn't know it wasn't.
Yeah, things aren't working out for us. We're having technical difficulties. That's okay though.
Then we got interrupted last one, so sorry.
We're getting interrupted again, just so you know. So go Cub.
So, for Star Wars, what was your favorite part in general?
We were talking about this earlier. It was really, for me, it was Obi-Wan beating Darth Maul. That was really just terrific. So we're going to have to rush through this. I have more things to say about it, but I just really love that moment. I think it really kind of like iconicized. No, that's not a word. It makes him an icon of like what I believe that the Star Wars franchise really revolves around Obi-Wan. Him and I were talking about this off camera,
Yeah.
But he was only a Padawan at that time. For him to get up and beat the guy was really probably my favorite moment, other than Luke beating Vader.
That was also very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of good moments, but I'll give you, that's mine. Go, buddy.
So my favorite moment was from the most recent video game, Jedi Survivors. Basically the character's like second mentor was basically you get snitched on from a spy. I'm not gonna go into details.
He's from Norwalk.
Yeah, and so that happens. Cal Kestis gets knocked out. So you play as the teacher. I forgot her name. That's very sad. And
Frida.
So that happens. Basically, you have to fight Darth Vader. But what I like is like Darth Vader is very strong. Don't get me wrong, like very, 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 very strong. But it's like one of his most like used things is like fear. He's based off of like fear. So when you don't fear him, he can still probably win the fight, but like fear kind of helps him. So the character was not really afraid of him.
Well, that's why Obi-Wan would beat him. I'm gonna interrupt very briefly. If you watched Obi-Wan on the Disney Plus, that's kind of what it was. Like he outsmarted him all the time because he wasn't afraid of him. Go ahead, Cub. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's fine. So basically, fight happens. You actually do a lot of versus Vader. Like he's you break like some of his shoe. His like cape's all tattered. It is
I hate your
cool.
shoes.
My shoes?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so that happens. So that happens, and so basically you get to the last moment. She fights him, but like they both like try to like stab each other, but she misses, and he hits. So that ends up killing her, and it's very like sad scene because like Cal like comes to and like.
Did Elvis die at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad. I know.
Yeah.
So then Cal Kestis like comes up. He's like literally like saying bye, and it's just like a sad moment because she's such a likable character too.
All right.
So that is my favorite moment.
I don't know the video game stuff. He knows it better than me, and no, but that's perfectly okay. Like I'm just saying, I don't know it. So, but it's part of the folklore, right?
Yeah.
You know. All right. So what's number 2?
Who was your favorite character in any source of media from Star Wars?
So we already covered this. I'll do it again. Obi-Wan Kenobi is, to me, the absolute focal point of the Star Wars universe. He's the guy who created pretty much everybody. He created Anakin Skywalker. He created Darth Vader. He defeated Darth Vader. He created Luke Skywalker. He created Leia. Like he pretty much everybody that mattered Obi-Wan was a part of. And then I was telling my cub, Ewan McGregor just really made that character just so much deeper than it was originally. I don't think it was. I think it was an afterthought. Like Alec Guinness fucking hated that people thought of him as, hey, you're Obi-Wan, because he was a theatrical trained actor. And he was like, God damn it, this is the one I was on the bridge in the River Kwai. And so like the fact that they took this character 40 years later, right?
Yeah.
And then made it so important is really that for me. And so as a kid, I love Han Solo. Han Solo was my favorite, but I'm gonna say now it's gotta be Obi-Wan. Kid.
Oh, okay. My favorite character, I'm gonna go with like the faster option. I both like them very much equally, but this one I lean a little more towards because he's very much way cooler. His name is Plo Koon. If you guys don't know who that is, he's like,
yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's like, so if you guys remember, he was in like the last movie. He got killed by like, he was the one in like the TIE fighter who was getting like chased by the one like Order 66.
That's your favorite fucking guy?
Okay, well he gets expanded more. I'm sorry for that. So he gets expanded more on in the Clone Wars.
You're not gonna pick Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia. You're gonna go with that guy.
He's cooler in the comics and in the show.
All right.
So
no one likes you.
If you guys know Ahsoka Tano, he pretty much helped like make her like a Jedi. So that's very cool. He's in the comics. He had a orange lightsaber, which is also very cool. He was very in tune to the Force, and he was probably the second strongest Jedi or third strongest, depending how you want to go. Because
I got a better one.
It was very, very rare to being able to counter Force lightning, and he could do that fairly easily, like Yoda. Like it went to the point where like if Plo Koon wasn't in the ship, he for sure would have won against the clone troopers in the Order 66 if he wasn't in the ship. He's just very, 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 very cool. He also has my favorite lightsaber color, which is orange, which is like
which is what, by the way?
It's like you use the dark side of the Force. But
no.
Also...
The blue is I think the Guardian. The green is
Force.
No, like a knight, and the orange is kind of like council. Like yeah. So
it's like
clean it up a little bit, man.
So it's pretty cool. In like the actual lore, blue is like you're more in tune with like you're more like skill based with like not the Force basically, and green is basically you're in tune with the Force. That is why Qui-Gon Jinn and Luke Skywalker had.
Well, it was a knight. You're a Jedi Knight at that. The green.
That's that might be. I think that's how it used to work, but it was cool.
It's changed a lot.
Yeah, right. it went from pretty much just like color choice to
Mace Windu had a purple one. I don't know what the fuck was that.
It's like they all mean something, which is
no, that's actually true. You're right.
But like you are right. But like back then, it pretty much like just meant like you're being.
There was only two.
Yeah.
All right, so let's push on because we really want to publish this one.
But yeah, that's why Plo Koon's easy.
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. What was your favorite allegiance? Example: Jedi, bounty hunter, whatever Han Solo was.
It's pretty much Han Solo. Like I just Han Solo and like, Princess Leia.
Faction.
Yeah, it's Han Solo saying like, I'm a bounty guy. I'm a smuggler, and I don't want to fucking get involved. I don't have any. I don't have a. What did they say? I don't have a. Jesus Christ! I don't want to win or lose in this war. I don't have anything. I just want to take my money and I go. I will Jabba the Hutt a fucking ton of money, and then that's pretty much all I really want to do. And then he starts believing in the cause, and he ends up showing up at the end of the first movie.
And finally believing in the Force.
Woohoo! And he's throwing, and with his Millennium Falcon. And it was really brilliant to me because it was just him. Like he was a mercenary, basically, and then just decided like to believe. And then the entire pretty much time he was there, he was just trying to get the hell out. But he believed too much, and then he fell in love with Princess Leia.
Then he had the mistake.
Well, You got Frozen. One of the greatest moments
I
in
hate
movie
Kylo
history,
Ren
by
so
the way.
much.
No, but when he says "I love you" and he goes, "I know," as he's dropping in.
Yeah.
All right, it's Kid's turn.
Okay,
Cubby.
so my favorite faction is either, that's hard actually, Jedi or Bounty Hunter. I prefer more Bounty Hunter because like Jedi, you're like born with like the Force, so like it is skill based because you learn new moves, but like you automatically have an advantage pretty much. Whereas Bounty Hunters, they were like straight up pure skill. Actually, my second choice was gonna be a guy named Cad Bane, who was in the Book of Boba Fett.
I again don't know what he's talking about.
He's a bounty hunter. He was in the Book of Boba Fett, and he was in Clone Wars show.
No, I think I saw that, but I don't remember him.
Yeah, he was like blue, and he had like red eyes.
That's fine. I hope he's dead.
Oh, he might be. So, anyways, he was like probably the strongest bounty hunter other than Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Which, to be fair, those guys kind of had indestructible armor and were trained by Mandalorians.
We were talking about the armor, by the way. We don't have time for it, but you know what?
We can squeeze it in, yeah.
Yeah, do it now.
So we were talking the lightsaber. Well, no, that's our last topic actually.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, anyways, Cad Bane was very cool. He was literally had like he literally had every like Mandalorian tool minus the armor, which is the main part, but like hidden on him. So it was very, very cool. And that is why I like the Bounty Hunter thing. But I like Jedi a little more because Plo Koon.
So what was your answer?
I'll go with Bounty Hunter because that's like pure skill pretty much. Okay, next topic. Oh, next topic is literally the lightsaber thing. Okay. So you wanna go first? Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
you always go first.
Sometimes. Most times actually. The lightsaber thing was like, so each. Okay, so I know for a fact like that was what my uncle. What he was talking about was like, blue is like Padawan, green's like Knight, and like orange is like Council.
No, blue is not Padawan. But go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
There's like Defender, and there's like Council, and then there's
I believe that was the original intention, but then later on that got retconned.
All right, go for it.
Where now each color means something. So
go for it.
So
go for it.
Go for what?
No, just keep talking, man.
So orange was like pretty much you could use the dark side, but also use the regular side. And the same purpose, it was very much like purple, which purple was like pretty much like you're in the middle, but like you're a Jedi still. Orange was also pretty much in the middle, but you used more light side techniques, which is why it.
Okay, so I looked it up.
Like
so give me a minute. You keep talking.
I'm talking from my memory, by the way, so I don't know all.
No, the cub is doing his job. He's doing his job.
Green was like you were more attuned with the Force. Blue, I'm pretty sure that was like that was pretty much the most basic thing because that was like skill with the lightsaber and not so much as the Force. Then red genuinely doesn't mean anything because there's something called Kyber crystal like bleeding, which
man, you know a lot of shit.
Yeah, I love Star Wars. So like pretty much you grab someone like if you grab like an old lightsaber crystal, you like pretty much put all your rage in it, which also makes it hotter.
Well, the crystals are really what you punch into it. Yeah.
But you can override it with your own thing, which is also how Ahsoka Tano got the white lightsabers, which I don't know what it means. But yeah. Oh, I was also talking about her earlier. Like, bro, you guys like you're fighting literal people who have lightsaber proof like armor, and your first thought isn't maybe I should put this into my lightsaber so it's like indestructible.
I've had like 4, and I never used it.
Yeah, so like I think it's cool. You know what?
All right, so can I interrupt you very briefly?
Yes.
This is actually really important. Blue lightsabers and green lightsabers. When it comes to the Jedi Order and the Sith, blue and green lightsabers are most common. Blue has always associated with positive qualities to serenity, and green represents growth and harmony. Red lightsabers, we don't have to deal with it. Purple lightsabers, which is really where my cub comes in. And by the way, he's the master of research. Nobility and wisdom. Yellow lightsabers are relatively rare. They represent power and sun and hope for the future. I think that's stupid, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Orange are associated with ambition, creativity, excuse me, and resourcefulness. Again, I believe that's stupid. Silver, which who the fuck has ever seen a silver lightsaber?
Ahsoka Tano, but that's like white, silver, same.
That's you and your cartoons, man.
She's in live action. She's literally getting her own show.
I hope she dies.
She does.
Purity and peace. So whether blue, green, red, purple, yellow, gold, orange, or silver, all items hold significant meaning for those who wield them. And I think we're done with that, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So now we are going into the aviator.
All right. So this is absolutely my mi maña, como se dice en español. And I need you to punch it up here.
Do I say the first word, or you want to like say
Go for it.
Okay.
First of all, put it on Wikipedia. They put it on so we can go.
So favorite part of the movie?
No. First of all, look up the actor.
Oh. Sorry.
So we're talking about Howard Robard Hughes Jr., who, in my opinion, is the most important person of the 20th century. And so I'm asking the Cub to do research. That's why he's here. And just so you know, he is the absolute best at it. Otherwise, I wouldn't ask him for more. But he's very good. And there's a movie that Scorsese did about 20 years ago called The Aviator. Now, it's not really about the movie. It's more about the person that this man was. I found him to be the most interesting person in the 20th century, to be quite honest. And so my kid here doesn't know what I'm going to do, and I don't know either. So which makes it more interesting because I think he's going to understand what an interesting and creative person and somebody that did a lot for this world is. So we're talking about the movie about the guy. Buddy?
Huh? Sorry.
We're talking about the movie or the guy?
Well, the first part was how did you like the movie?
All right. So I really enjoyed the movie. I thought we were talking about him as a person.
Oh, you can. That's literally like the second thing.
Okay. I enjoyed very much. We got Sabotage earlier. I was telling my Cub a lot of things about like this guy who was very, very smart. He was born rich, and he changed aviation both in speed racing and commercially. He changed research that he touched every part of the world when he was available, but he had a slight case of OCD. But in those days, nobody knew what OCD was, and he was like dripping rich, so nobody could tell him nothing. I think Leonardo DiCaprio catches that, just that bravado and the same kind of, what do you call it when you're just scared, like paranoid. Yeah. Thank you. And like there's a great scene I was telling Cubby about where he's like looking at the guy. He's like, "You got lint on your shirt. You got some lint on your shirt. You got some lint on your shirt." And then, like there's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Throw it in that." And then he gives him like a rag, and then it's lint, by the way. Seriously, like we get mauled by dogs all day. And he like one of the things I love is that you see DiCaprio walk over and look at the trash bag to make sure
it was like
that the lint was there, and then he goes, "All right, let's talk numbers." So his brain is moving, but he has this kind of dysfunction, And I thought it was really brilliantly shot. I love the way he shot. I thought Scorsese should have won an Oscar for that movie. I thought DiCaprio should have won an Oscar for that movie. I
thought he did.
No, he won for the movie where he just gets mauled by a fucking bear or something. Like he should have won for this movie. I thought this was the best thing he's done. And Scorsese hadn't won an Oscar for that movie, which he would have should have won for Kings of New York. But all right, I'm done bitching. Go ahead.
So the second part, Well, who was your favorite character?
It's DiCaprio doing Howard Hughes was just, to me, was amazing. I thought he was just so good. I thought it was so good because there was like this brilliant mind, and I've read a lot of things about him. I've read a lot of books about Howard Hughes, and he was like a brilliant guy, but he couldn't get the simple things out. Cubby, he got jailed like at least 3 times
Jail?
because he thought he was homeless. He was walking around like, and he was writing things down on like a piece of paper, and they're like, "What the? This guy's nuts," like. And then like at one point, and this is really interesting. Well, at least to me, it is they caught him being like a I don't know what the word would be, but like a receiver at an airport. And so they're like, was he nuts, or was he at that point thinking about buying planes? Yeah. And so they can't figure it out. That's how crazy this man's mind. The man is, his mind never. There's something where I saw, and I have it, where he when he got into this terrible accident, which I think Cubby's gonna get into, where he actually designed a bed that would revolve and move him so he could burn easily. And then one of the doctors goes, that tells you that this mind never stopped working. He was on the verge of death. It was a very terrible, terrible accident, and his mind never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go to the next one.
So the next one is, how did you like the ending?
I would have seen more. I would have liked to have seen more.
Like the rest of his life?
Yeah, but it also was the last part of his life was pretty sad, to be honest with you. But it's my mom that was like, I wanted to see when he went nuts, because the problem is the XF-11 crash debilitated him, and I was telling Cubby, we tried to do this earlier, that he broke all his ribs, both his legs, one of his arms. His heart actually shifted from his face. I'm sorry, shifted about 6 inches over. He had a broken skull, and he had a cleft lip from then on that he had. That's why he grew a mustache. And so he was in pain, which led him to be a morphine addict. And that's the problem, is that most people will say like, oh, oh, you're not an addict. He was in abject pain, but he was still in charge of everything. So he got into the drug thing, but it was strictly because he was in so much pain. Like one of the doctors that in the document, I've watched it all, by the way. So if you want to text me, go ahead. They said he was one of the greatest pain patients of all time, that he would still function after his crash that would have killed anyone, and still be effective, which he was. Yeah,
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, that is. You want to continue?
I'm gonna tell one quick story. I love this story. So at one point, because he was always reclusive, but he became more of a recluse as he got older, especially after the crash. And so I think I want to say it was a Desert Inn, but I might be wrong. He went to the Desert Inn in Las Vegas, and he took over the whole floor. He actually listen, Cubby, this is gonna make you laugh. He actually bought a television station, so they would play the movies that he wanted.
Oh,
That's how fucking rich he was, and that's how weird he was. Like, I want to see this like 4 times, and so anyways, so the other investors told Frank Sinatra, like, hey man, you got to tell him to get out, because Vegas is for people to come in and spend money and leave, and they're like, he's wasting our money, and this is not supposed to be here. So Sinatra calls him and goes like, hey man, you gotta go, you're wasting our money. And then Howard Hughes told him, all right, I just bought this hotel, so I'm gonna ask you to leave. That's the most boss move of all time.
Imagine being like that rich that like someone like calls you like, "Hey, buddy."
No, but to Frank Sinatra too. Like, saying go fuck yourself. Really, like he can't say it, but I can. But he was like legitly just like, all right.
Bro was so petty that he literally was like, "Oh, I'm about to place that you're in right now."
No, but you know what's funny, Cub, is that a lot of people think that he's the guy who broke the mob in Vegas because he started buying hotels. Once he broke was such a intelligent man. Once he opened the books and started seeing, was like, oh, I can run this and I can do it honestly. He started buying all the casinos and he started tearing it apart. And the thing is because he was such a recluse, the mob, you know what they want to do is they want to get to you. Nobody could find him because he's so reclusive that you only talk to 3 people a day. Like so yeah. He only wanted it. He had like a certain amount of people, and that was it.
Weird, kind of.
So no, he was a weird guy. So they couldn't threaten him. They couldn't show him, but like, hey. And he was so rich that they couldn't threaten him either with that. Like, oh, we got money. Like, more money.
Like, I'll pay you to like leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's what happened when he bought the Desert Inn. He was like, you can go. Anyways, we're done. I think this is great. Hopefully it publishes. I can't really do this without the Cub. Thank you again, Cubby. And hopefully we can post this. And we had troubles with the microphones, so
yeah, sorry about
our condolences. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, we need to research in that microphone because that could be a very good microphone.
It's a bomb ass microphone.
We should find out how it works.
Okay. Well, we haven't had time. That's just it. Sure. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and close it out.
Well, anyways, this is Cubby signing off. Bye.